Allow your hips and your lower back to really release here. And just take a couple breaths. Good, so from here we're going to bring our chin down. Let's bring the heels up towards the ceiling, kind of like the same position they were just in. And then let's inhale, lift the arms, bring them forward again for a little Sphinx. But this time we're going to take a block and we're going to place it around where our head is, just so we can come onto our elbows for a second. And then just take a second here to make sure that your head is good. So you want to get your face on to the block. Good. So let's bring the chest down a little bit. From here we're going to bring the arms out to a T, palms face down. And we'll start first by bringing the left side of your face onto the block. And the block is just an option. If it doesn't feel good for you, you don't have to use it, of course. So from here, we're going to be very mindful because we're going to roll back onto the left shoulder. It's going to be for our chest and our pecs. From here, we take a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, you creep your right arm in so the elbow comes up and you gently start to roll onto the left side. Right, so you're going to start to feel this now in the left arm. And you can creep that left arm away, kind of spider crawl it away, the more you roll, and you just take it to wherever it feels good. So some of us just might not even roll too much. Some of us might be able to roll onto the side. If you'd like a little bit more, you can always take that right leg, the top leg, and you bring the sole of the foot to the mat, or to the floor behind you. And usually this is pretty good for most people, if not stopping way before this. So you can just kind of chill here wherever it feels good. Softening the pecs just a little bit, right? Anti-text shoulders. And then inhale. And exhale, slowly, mindfully roll back onto your belly. And gently bring the right side of your face down, the right arm out to a T. Good, and we'll set up for the second side. So left hand comes in, we bend at the elbow, big inhale. And on the exhale, you just slowly push into the left hand, roll the left shoulder back, finding where it feels good for you. So maybe some of us can roll onto the side. Perhaps you can bring that left leg back. If you get there, you can even try and get the right leg to match it. Doesn't matter where the legs go, whatever your legs are doing is irrelevant because the pose is at the shoulder and the chest, so just make sure it feels good there. Good, so inhale first, and then exhale, slowly we roll back down. You can remove that block, and this time we'll bring the right side of our face down, arms come back down by your side, right cheek, and then toes together, heels fall apart, and then let the elbows and the shoulders, everything roll forward. And you can get a nice stretch here in the neck. The more you encourage the right ear down and the right side of the head. Right, just slowly, gently bringing the shoulders away from the face. Good, and then one more nice stretch on the belly. We're going to inhale, lift the chin to the mat, and then we're going to bring the heels up once more. So for some of us, a strap might be pretty good here. You can see once you get there. If you don't have a strap, you can always use a towel or a tie or anything that would resemble this, maybe a long sock or something. So it doesn't really matter. If you do have a strap though, we're going to make a loop out of it. And then again, you might not even need it, so we'll see where it goes. Good, so you want to make, if you do have a strap that requires you to do this, or that allows you to do this, you make a small hole because it's where our foot's going. So you can bring the strap by your side as you're on your belly, and from here we're going to come again back into a Sphinx. But this time, you can have the block here if you'd like, but we're going to bring the elbows away so that the chest is a little bit further down. So that if you were to put your left forearm to be parallel with the front of your mat, if you were to drop your head, you'd have a long neck and your forehead would rest on your forearm. So sometimes there's a tendency to bring the arm too close and the shoulders come up. So let's try and bring the chest and the shoulders down by reaching the left arm further away and maybe getting a little bit more flat. Nice. So that's just for your elbows placement. So we'll come back onto the elbows in Sphinx pose just for a moment. Again, the elbow's pretty far away. From here, we're going to inhale, reach the right leg up. So your right foot, we bend at the knee. And sometimes this is enough for people. You don't need to do any more. If you're starting to feel this in your quad, then you stay here. If you'd like a little bit more, you can look over the right shoulder. And this is where either the strap or knot comes in. So you turn first the left forearm to face to the right so that your forearm is parallel with the front of the mat. And then again, the elbow is pretty far away. Over the right shoulder, you can reach back. If you can grab it, that's great. If not, you take the hook and you can hook the first. And then we have now the strap here. But regardless of where or what we have, either you're staying there or you have your foot, you take an inhale first. And on the exhale, you drop your forehead down. And then you just gently bring the right heel in towards your glute. And you just want to find a good stretch. Sometimes there's a tendency too for the knees to sprawl out. You want to encourage those legs to stay close and to keep both hips down. Sometimes the hips want to raise here just to compensate for any tightness in the quad. Encourage the hips down and encourage the knees closer. And then really allow the head to fall. Try to get a really soft back of your neck, right? The upper body's pretty chill. We're just getting a nice stretch in the front of our quad. Good. And then to release, all you do is let go of the leg or let go of the strap and let everything fall. You can bring both arms underneath your head just for a second to bring the toes together, heels apart, and just take a rest. Sometimes without us noticing, the lower back can get a little tight there. So it's nice to let it release. And the more that the legs outwardly rotate, the more those hips and glutes and lower back can release. Good. So to set up for second side, we're going to take the same variation. Right, if you have the hook strap, we'll just get that off. This time, let's bring the right arm now parallel with the front of the mat, so the right forearm. And we reach the left foot up. And again, you stay here if this feels good. Or you can look over the left shoulder, maybe grab it. And you want to grab the outside, not quite the inside. You want to grab the outside. Good. So that your shoulders can come back forward. And again, get the knees a little closer. Left hip down. Inhale, and then exhale, drop the head down. Encourage the left heel in towards the glute. Try to relax your shoulders and chest and neck and head as much as you can. And just bring a little bit of awareness to the left quad and try to soften it. And then to release, you just let go, let it fall. Your left hand can come meet the right underneath the head, and then take another rest here as your toes come together and your heels fall apart. And your head can rest right in your arms, kind of creating this little cocoon for yourself. It's a nice little pose to turn inward. Encourage some self-reflection here. Good, so from here we're going to bring the heels up. Let's slide the hands out from underneath our head. We're going to line our hands up here for a little cobra, so your thumbs get in line with the nipples. And then the shoulders reach back. Again, you spread through your collarbones here, right? The chest is pretty low. Tops of the feet are down. Legs are relatively straight. And just inhale here, lift the chest up. And on the exhale, push into your hands. We're going to come back into a child's pose. Really slowly, really mindfully getting there. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can always come onto all fours or take a down dog. But just for a second, in a child pose, inhale. And exhale exhale through the mouth. And then inhale, come up onto all fours. And exhale, let's tuck the toes, lift the hips and knees, downward facing dog. Okay, that was the end of that one.
Jackpot. That was awesome.
Was good?
Yeah.
Okay. I could still do like so much. It's so crazy. I was like,
That's
I
what
thought
I'm
I was
saying.
gonna
You
have
could
nothing to
hours.
do.
No, you could do hours, I'm sure. Because then you think about
Yeah.
sequences, and we have different combos of those sequences.
Yeah.
And then variation, like we did that variation. I'm sure you could do harder ones and go crazy,
Totally.
or easier one, like super easy. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, like really, like people who can't move at all.
Yeah.
There's yoga for that too.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what I'm saying. Like it's
This
so
is
many
like,
variables.
yeah, this is beginners if you're an average human,
Yeah.
you know, like,
yeah, if
and
not,
you're
like, starting at
exercise,
negative.
yeah, like if you exercise kinda and you take care of yourself kinda, this is a beginner's. This might be really hard for someone who's completely out of their element, you know?
It's never moved.
So
and
it's
that's why
always-
we could even.
You can make it even less than this, you can make it obviously more,
Yeah.
but this is more of a beginner's to an average healthy person, I guess, per se,
Which is perfect.
which is, right?
I think so. I think this is
you
like
try to try
considered-
that. Of course, everyone can do it.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not you think it's easy.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's why I think beginners should, you know what I mean? Like that's where we should be going with it. Because then intermediates, like, okay, maybe they can't, we lose a tier of people.
Yeah.
But then you still, maybe you pull in another tier that like, all right, that was way too easy. I want more jump.
True.
And yeah, dude,
Cool.
I think that's good, right? For
Yeah.
this part, and then we'll figure out for next week.
Yeah. The intermediate one is, yeah, I think I'll be totally fine. Now that I'm doing it, I forgot about it.
Let me see. Oh yeah, we had perfect timing.